Breathes in. Boy. Character development. The episode, boys.
Dude, this episode was fucking awesome.
Well, let's see. Let's see. What lies beneath? How much do I love thee? Let me count the ways. One.
How much do we want to dig to find out what lies beneath?
Commit uninstall life on Roblox. So let's see. We have character development. We have the Young Six, which I guess is their name. That's awesome. They're awesome. They're great. They're some of the best characters the show's ever had. We have more evidence of Cozy Glow being like the super evil duper mastermind. Although I'm assuming people have already watched the stuff all ahead, so they probably know how the finale ends. Which
well, let me just say, my wife has a theory about Cozy Glow. My wife thinks that Cozy Glow is Chrysalis in disguise.
What?
My wife has a theory that Cozy Glow is Chrysalis in disguise.
I mean, it makes the most sense, honestly. I mean, but I'm surprised there's not a way Ocellus wouldn't be able to, like, tell.
Wouldn't be able to, like, sense it?
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, I always, well, I mean, I guess this got disproven after season 5 or 6, but like, I always assumed that the Changeling Hive had like, it seemed to be until recent seasons that the Changelings operate with like a literal hive mind mentality, or at the very least, Chrysalis controlled them like a hive mind mentality. But you know,
well, I think kind of what happened, you know, in like to change a changeling when we were talking about Pharynx and him not wanting to change, kind of made it seem like Thorax kind of made the changelings into less of a hive mind and more of like expressing individuality.
It's kind of like how in Half-Life 2 and 3 you had the character Legion who always spoke in we and our because the enemies known as the Geth operate as a hive mind. But then there's a part in Mass Effect 3 where you give the Geth individuality, and for like the last little bit he starts referring to like I and me and stuff because he acquired individuality or something. I don't know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just interesting. But I'll say, if you like Sombra's Door of Worst Fears from the Crystal Empire Season 3 premiere, you're going to fucking love this episode. Like, this is all of that one little scene into the entire episode.
Yeah, no. Who knew that the Tree of Harmony was kind of the biggest dick in Equestria? Celestia now has been dethroned as teacher with most questionable teaching methods because, oh my god! I mean, what was his name? Gallus the Griffin? Yeah, I mean he may be the only one, but he could have died. So,
well, let me just say this: you could say that the tree was just barking at them.
No, that's like only half of a pun.
It was barking orders at them. I don't know. Hey, you know that the latest meme right now is the fucking moth with the lamp.
Oh my god! Like, don't remind me. You know who came up with that meme? Everybody that grew up with a Nintendo 64.
I know. My favorite one of that, though, is Moth McMotherson is in a relationship with Lamp McLamperson.
Oh my god. Die, okay? Not you, the meme. Okay, so like it was funny for a week, but I thought it was gonna stay around for a week. I know I've liked better memes that have barely stayed around 4 days, but whatever, we're off track. So the episode opens up, right? And so it opens up with Twilight talking about the Tree of Harmony. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's I'm surprised that that's a thing that they would want to talk about just because it seemed to really only matter in season 4, but except for the mean 6. So like here's what was interesting to me about this episode, about this part, was like I feel like it was a subtle way to imply I should have known that things were going to get serious-ish well, serious in the sense of serious for the show when they brought up the Tree of Harmony, because they brought up the Tree of Harmony during the Mean Six, and I kind of forget how that episode played out, but the tree kind of sort of stopped Chrysalis because it was alive or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was like where she's just like, I gotta, it's got to be more like all fucking mad dark magic and subterfuge, and you're just gonna see the main six come up and be like, oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I
So
fucking love that DWK. By the way, the newest DWK one, the one where Road to Friendship, I'm just like, God, he just went full out with his ship
I
of limb tricks.
I watched that episode and I told this to John. I told him, I said, the things he said and the things he did and animated in that review of his, it just felt like it was very cathartic for him. Like, I feel like he's wanted to say and do and animate more than half those things for quite a while, but in this episode gave him the incentive to do it. I'm just saying,
especially the blowjob at the end. I guarantee you, he wanted to animate that.
I'm just saying, if they have to canonize one ship that isn't Lyra and Bonbon, it should be that one, okay? I'm all right with stuff like Flutterdash and, well, Rare Jack is basically canon, at least in the Equestria Girls universe. But if they could canonize one pairing, it better be Glimtrix, or I will go to Hasbro and I will punch Mr. Potato Head in the nut. Wait, he's Mattel. Anyway, so Twilight finishes up her lesson, right? And she's like, okay, this is going to be on the test tomorrow. And they're like, damn it. She's like, hey, why don't you guys have a study group? Because study groups are not only productive, they're fun. And I thought, ha, Twilight, I will never trust study groups again after playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Okay,
so. Oh gosh, yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Man, that game's good, but that game pisses me off. Ask me why.
It's like, I'm ugly and horrible and no one loves me. Don't ask why.
Yeah, because all of those girls talk, write, and think exactly like me.
Right.
And playing that
game scares you half to death.
No, actually, I think it just made me more sad, and then I just put on some Nirvana for a while.
So I love how right after this, I'm just thinking, when Twilight was talking about there's going to be a test tomorrow, I'm thinking of that scene from Transformers where he's just like, might be a pop quiz tomorrow, might not. Sleep in fear tonight. But they go outside to the courtyard, and Gallus is just like, you know what? We're not going to learn from a study group. The only place we're going to go find how to learn about this, he runs up to one of the trees and he's just like, oh, magical equestrian tree, tell us all about pony history.
Yeah, so they're in the library, and their Gallus is basically like, man, this sucks. Smolder's like, yeah, this kind of sucks. Yana's asleep. Sandbar's like, yeah, dude, sup, bro, which is California for this sucks, dude. And Ocellus is kind of there. But then Cozy Glow. God, I swear it sounded like someone wanted to call her Afterglow as a joke, but then they're like,
God.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, but we have to change the first part. And they're like,
artists, get on that. I want to see an OC called Afterglow from this shit.
I feel like color palette wise, it would look just like Cozy Glow, except instead of her hair in braids, it would look like the pony just got out of the shower.
So straight haired Cozy Glow.
Oh, so she look like never mind, I shouldn't make that joke. Yeah, so
So
Cozy Glow's
basically,
over there, and she's like, "Hey, man, it's real." And she gets on she gets on like a Tumblr soapbox, and condescendingly talks down to them, with the intention of making them feel better, even though she's unintentionally making them feel bad. Which is what I
she's
would
straight up
say.
fucking
Which is
racist here.
yeah, which is what I would say if I wasn't so convinced that Cozy Glow is the daughter of Satan, or I guess Tyrek in
Yeah,
this case.
I'll say this: she's going through, and as we find out later in the episode, she, for the most part, literally lays out the fears that these young six will have to go through later in the episode. Like
Basically,
when it comes to Silverstream, it's talking about how you were hiding from the Storm King for a number of years, and then looking at who else, like Yona, not like Yak's better than everyone, and they don't want to make friends with any other creatures, stuff like that, you know.
yeah, that I like that comparison. That's good. So
So
basically, she's like, yeah, man, it's super cool because like, well, actually, which plays into which piggybacking off what you said, that that plays into Sambar's character arc throughout the episode because she kind of directly compliments him by saying, "Man, it's super cool that you're helping these creatures out."
yeah, that
And
you're helping those who are disadvantaged. I'm like,
yeah,
ooh, that hits a nerve with me.
I really wanted to make a creature of color joke, but
Oh my gosh, yes.
that's I'm telling you, dude. Like I make jokes about it all the time, but I swear to Jesus, or if that's not your thing, I swear to Buddha or Allah or Clay Aiken. I really think I swear I felt like if the changelings turned into Tumblr, then Cozy Glow turned into the other half of Tumblr. Like
I thought
like
it would be 4chan.
nah, 4chan has enough
4chan would be more Gallus though.
4chan has enough decency now to know when something's really messed up for the most part. I mean, it's not early 2000s on the Something Awful forums that, brought us such hits as Slender Man and a bunch of 21st century Jewish jokes.
You know, when you're talking about Something Awful, it reminded me of Proton John. And I actually just found out Proton John just married Lucagen. Ain't that something crazy?
That's almost as weird as the guy that is as the loser that runs Anime News Network married Jessa Utaku
I know, right?
after she became a man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So,
channel
yeah,
awesome, stay classy. So yeah, basically, yeah, she's like because Griffins, it's not in their nature. Hippogriffs had to hide away forever. Yaks are solitary or something, just going through them. And I'm gonna say this right now. This episode had a profound impact on me for a couple reasons. One, because as Cozy Glow's saying this, maybe this is just me. If it's pardon my French, but if you feel it apropos, please feel free to jump on this. I kind of wanted to backhand Cozy Glow in the face after she was done talking to him, just because it was like a reason you suck speech, but without actually telling them they sucked. You know what I mean? Like it was if someone ever asks me, hey, how would you describe the term passive aggressive? I would want to show them that scene because, oh my lord,
I guarantee you the SJWs would have so much to say about Cozy Glow. She'd be like, you are spewing microaggressions like nothing else.
You are problematic. It's like
Yeah. So
seriously.
anyway, they find this great thing. And earlier, Silverstream has a picture has a book about how to fix plumbing issues, like sink pipes, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're trying way too hard to be Skystar. I'm sorry, but anyway, she's like, I read that book cover to cover, and I don't think that this is supposed to be here.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. You know what's interesting is that I really feel like I really feel like Silverstream. I feel like she really like came into her own on this episode.
Oh yeah.
Like, like for the most part, I always just kind of consider her a carbon copy of Skyla, and she still kind of is. But I don't know. Like, I feel like she actually really like defined herself here. I mean, the part where to jump ahead for a sec, the part where she yells at the apparition of the Snow King really sounds like something Skyla could have said, or maybe her mom. But it was still good, just because she was someone affected by it and obviously is part of the family, so she can whatever. So it works. So they get in the cave, right? And they're like, dude, this place is lit. Well, Twilit Sparkle shows up, and she's like, yo, okay,
Just
check
call her
this out.
Sparkle Sparkle. She'll be fine with that.
Sparkle Sparkle. Okay, so
Fuck yeah, Sparkle Sparkle Sparkle.
so SS shows up, right? And she's like, Link, you must go to the land of Korodai and fight Ganondorf in that one CDI Zelda game. I can't remember.
I'm going to Gamelon. You hate him.
And then the young six and to Gamelon, that's right. So the young six are like, all right, we can't wait to bomb some Dodongans or whatever I don't know. Legend of Zelda is weird. So anyway, S2 splits them up, and they're like, okay, we're gonna put you in these 6 little challenge rooms. And I swear I've seen Asian foreign films with this exact premise and setup, except people die in those. So what's his name? Gallus, right? I keep you know what it is? What keeps messing me up with Gallus's name? I keep wanting to call him Callus.
Gallus is getting some calluses.
Well, just because like
playing guitar,
So Callus gets locked in this room, which I really liked. His room was the most simple, but I liked it the best just because it felt like, because they were all puzzle rooms, but this one felt like an actual puzzle. Because it's a light challenge.
Felt like a Zelda puzzle, honestly.
Yeah, because there's blue lights that open up the hole, and there's purple lights that close it. And, if he touches all the purple ones, it closes forever. And, it's great. I feel like it's a great metaphor because like, hey, so Gallus, I know you want to break into music. Well, okay, here you go. Here is the very small claustrophobic bubble of playing country music. If you ever want to make money playing country, you can only sound one way forever. And then Gallus is like, screw this, I'm going back to punk rock. So then you fast forward over to Yana, and they throw her in a room of spiders because her greatest fear is Tim Burton movies and Nine Inch Nails. So the tree of harmony was like, okay, dude, check this out. I know. So check this out. You've got your thick game on, right? But you're scared of becoming a big titty goth girl. So
okay.
we're gonna help you.
Okay, hold up a second.
What?
Is it wrong when you were talking about how she was scared of Nine Inch Nails that I was thinking of one of the spiders going, I wanna fuck you like an animal?
You are very good at conjuring up images I really don't need to see.
That's what I'm here for, buddy. Glad to help.
So a bunch of spiders show up, right? And because you can hear them in the background, this is Halloween, this is Halloween. And Yana was like, no, I hate Invader Zim fans. So then she runs into the darkness. Meanwhile, Silverstream comes across a very calming what would you call it? Like a pool? Yeah, a pool.
Yeah, it's a recreation of the Mount Eris, so it kind of gives her kind of a sense of familiarity. And then she sees the Storm King and the goons, but it kind of harkens back to the opening of the series where the trees with the faces, they just look scary. They're not actually there to harm you.
Yeah,
But
because
she
they're
doesn't know
literally
that yet,
just
so she's
because
scared as shit.
they're literally just
And
rocks.
Smolder's was my favorite. She comes across these two ponies, one with a fucking dimple on her cheek. That's just like, yeah, that's because I thought that was a smudge on my screen for a second, but I saw it moving. I'm like, oh, that's an actual dimple. Okay. So they're talking about how cute she is. And she doesn't like it. She's just like, oh my gosh, will you guys just shut up? I need to know how to figure this out. And she's like, fine, I'll do dress up and tea parties, but just this once. And she comes off with fucking lipstick and eyeshadow and a fucking brown, like blue dress. She looked like she looked like Applejack from Look Before You Sleep.
Yeah, she did. Well, actually, you know what? Applejack looked like way more ridiculous.
Yeah, but like I was laughing my ass off when I first saw that. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
Embrace your feminine side, girl.
yeah, Smolder basically gets well, in like a total of
Smolder devolves into a basic bitch. Let's just say that.
She kind of gets Kanji Tasumi's character arc from Persona 4, except in Persona 4, she was like I'm paraphrasing, but she basically said, "All right, I like fucking cute stuff." But you know, obviously without the F-bomb. So
Yeah.
that happens. Sandbar gets approached by Rarity, well, apparitions of Rarity and Rainbow Dash, and they're like, "Come on, dude, we need you to save the world." And he's like,
whoa.
"Oh." He's like, oh, sick.
That's fan-fucking-tastic. It's your responsibility. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Da 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 da.
So he's like, sweet, my first friendship adventure, runs off. And I like his because his was like the second most simple besides Gallus. So he was like, I don't know, dude. I really feel bad about my friends, and like I feel like we should be fine. They're like, nah, dude, you're fine. They're like, nah, man, this doesn't feel right. I should go back for him. And they're like, dude,
we want to find out where your loyalties lie.
Yeah, so which kind of gave it away a bit. But Sandbar was like, Sandbar's like, no, I get it. I know what you are. They're like, what? They're like, you're record company executives. I'm not going to sell out. I'm going to take your deal. I'm going to keep my sound. Trucha. So they disappear. And then the last one's just Ocellus just turns into Chrysalis because I don't think it's so much that she has, in my opinion, I don't think it's so much she had a personal history with Chrysalis. I just feel like Ocellus sees Chrysalis as a monster. So, you know, at heart, she's worried that as a changeling, yeah, their appearances change, but deep inside, they're still changelings. So in that essence, ipso facto, she views herself as a monster, which again, the simplicity of their things is what sells it on me, because I tell you what, these guys got more characterization in this one episode than some members of the main six got in 2 seasons. So that was, but it still felt right because. And it helps that they're from multi-ethnical backgrounds because already their flaws and differences are a core concept of their character, because you know they're trying to bridge gaps and build a high functioning democracy, which and that's how Thanksgiving was founded. Anyway,
they want to create a melting pot in the school.
They really are. That's the thing. You know, it's funny. There's probably someone out there that takes this show too seriously, and they're just like, America needs to take notes. I'm like, yeah, I want to grow freaking wings too, bro.
Right. So they all. But
it needs to be like.
I love how
it needs to be like.
I love how Gallus and Smolder are the first two that get out, and they're about to go up into because basically what it is, if they can't figure out their puzzles, the school, like the top part where the school is going to close off forever. So they're not going to be able to get up there. So they're trying to go up, and we're like, wait a second. the old Gallus and the old Smolder would have, forgotten the others and saved themselves. But we're not going to do that because, we're actually friends with some other creatures. So they actually go and try and find them. So Smolder is, who did she went to Ocellus.
Yeah.
And she's just like, you're beautiful. Like just because you have baggage from your past doesn't mean you can't be better in the future. And Gallus was the one who helped Silverstream with Go for Cover Fear of the Storm King.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, let's have you talk about the ship name for these two.
So, to put some context to this, I got TV tropes opened up on another page, and this is where I got this from. So I was telling John, right? I was kind of bouncing back and forth between who I shipped out of the main six anyway. So I came, but after this episode, I'm like, dude, Silverstream and Gallus all the way, bro. And then I saw on TV tropes, a lot of people are shipping them after this too. And their ship name is dead ass. It's called Lovebirds.
It makes so much sense, but at the same time, it's just like you come up with all these crazy hyphenated names.
Yeah, I know.
For all the other ships, and then them two are just lovebirds.
Yeah, I know. I know. Lyra and Bonbon doesn't even have one, but there's Vinyl Scratch, there's Twi Pie, Flutter Dash, all Rare Jack, all the easy ones you could think of. But for them, they're just like the fans just got lazy. They're like, you put Gallus and Stream together, like I don't know, Gal Stream, Civilus. They're like
Civilus.
They're like, yeah, fuck it, just call them Lovebirds. Well, I mean, realistically, there's not going to be any other like actual like winged creature pairings from the show. So I mean, they couldn't
call them the biracial couple. We'll be fine.
The biracial couple? No, dude, because then that's my parents. So they find each other, right? And they're like, there's a one scene before they go off to find them between Gallus and Smolder where they're like, I guess any old dragon or griffin would have ran out by now. And Smolder's like, I guess we're not any old dragon and griffin. And I'm like, yeah, develop those characters, Hasbro. Oh, so
I gotta say this though. I love how Smolder comes out still with her eyeshadow or blush or lipstick or her fucking dress and everything. And Smolder just goes to Gallus and is like, what happened to you? And Gallus is like, what happened to you? And she pulls her shit off and she's like, you do not mention this to anyone. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, that was great. So they find each other, they get to the hole, and it's about to close, but then it opens, and then the Twilight S2, right? And she's like, dude, awesome, you guys finished the test. And they're like, wait a minute, you're not Princess Twilight. And they're like, yeah, dude. And so it's like, yo, what's up, guys? I'm Tree of Harmony, boy. Trap music plays in the background. And they're like, dude, so what was this? And to summarize, the tree's explanation was basically that, to sum up what she said in like a couple words, she basically said that one thing Superman said in that All-Star Superman comic / movie where she's like, where she was like, you're smarter than you, it's like you're stronger than you, it's like you're stronger than you think you are, and you're better than you hoped. And they're like, and all the young six are like, oh sweet, now I don't want to drop out and kill myself. So they get out of the hole. They feel really good about themselves because, hey, the literal pure embodiment of friendship just told them that they're too legit to quit and they need to keep going on with their lives. That's pretty badass. That's like if, I don't know, if you're a struggling band and you meet James Hetfield in a bar and he's like, hey man, don't ever stop, you guys keep going. You're gonna like, dude, the singer from Metallica told us to keep going on. Yeah, dude, I'm never breaking up this band, and then all your band members leave. Not saying this happened to me. It happened to my cousin Paco's band. Anyway, so the episode ends with Cozy Glow being like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry," and I'm just like, "Look, I don't care how Canadian your voice actress most likely is. I don't buy it for a second, especially at the end, because they all start to nap and Smolder rested on Yano's gut, which, oh my God, that's adorable. She's like, just leave everything to Cozy Glow. And literally the only thing to make her more obvious suspicious is if they were anthropomorphic, and then they could do a thing where Cozy Glow is like, cartoonishly sneaking along, and she's like, and like twiddling her fingers and shit, and just being like, "Just leave everything to Cozy Glow," looking like the Wicked Witch from freaking Snow White at the end of the movie. So, yeah, I don't. And this episode, and the episode ends. My Little Pony. This episode was a wake up call in a way because I felt that the season has been overall good, but nothing really exciting that really grabbed me, but that like really grabbed me by the snake skins. But after watching this episode a couple times, which I don't usually do, I usually watch it once and then go over the episode with John because he remembers everything, and I think me forgetting stuff is funny. And this gets, how do I put this? Hold on. This episode gets a 10 out of 10 from me.
Okay. I'll just say, sitting down, getting my popcorn, I'm drinking my cola, and I'm just watching this. I come out of the episode, I'm like, I really like that episode. Da, 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 da. But in all seriousness, I loved this episode. This was such a great episode. I also give it a 10 out of 10. First perfect episode of the season.
No, like you,
boys.
Like, no, bro. You don't understand. This episode was so good. It makes other episodes that I've listed high look not as good.
I know. It's one of those that's dethroning a lot of good episodes in this season. I agree with you.
Like dead ass, half the episodes I gave like 8s and 9s. Almost wants, part of me almost wants to like take it back just because it's like, dude, this is
almost.
So
I'm just gonna say, so far this season, my top 2 episodes is this first, and then Road to Friendship second. But at this point, it's too early to tell. We still have a couple more episodes. We're actually coming back tomorrow to do the next one.
We are? I mean, yeah, we are.
Yeah, so that's going to be kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, do you want to... Let's see what it is about.
Oh, I got it right here. I got it right here. Fluttershy and Applejack journey to the edge of the map of a friendship quest to help a group of ponies named Kieran or Kitten, who have taken a vow of who have taken a vow of silence out of fear of hurting each other's feelings.
It makes sense when you watch the episode.
Wait, have you seen it?
It sounds very SJW from that, but it's
I was
a lot better when you watch the episode.
No, I was about to say, dude, this show loves taking shots at its fan base. I love it.
Let me just say,
Steven Universe would never.
Galadriel like from Fellowship of the Ring, when she goes into that demon mode and she's like, "Oh, shall love me in fear."
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're talking about.
Basically, imagine that when the Kieran get mad.
I totally understand exactly what you're talking about.
So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Bye bye. See ya.
Bye. Adios. Auf Wiedersehen.